Hello children, today we'll see about seismonastic movement. That is the example of nastic movement. So last video we have seen about different kinds of tropic movements, but today we'll learn about seismonastic movements. So if we see the example of seismonastic movement, there is a plant whose name is touch me not. Touch me not. It's also called chui mui. Chui mui. And if I say the scientific name, the botanical name of this plant is Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica is the scientific or botanical name of this touch me not plant or chui mui. Actually what happened, the plant responded when we try to touch, when we try to give any kind of jerk. So what happened, there is a sudden change in the turgor pressure. It happens because of the turgor pressure, because of the cytoplasmic fluid present inside the cells of the leaves. So if I try to show the structure of this Mimosa pudica is having what? It's having compound type of leaves. Suppose you might have seen these kinds of structures. See, you can see these kinds of structures. These are the leaves, you might see. So many leaves are present. You can compare these leaves like neem leaves. The diagram is also given in your textbook. For example, this is called pulvinus. Pulvinus, and this is called pulvinule. Pulvinule. Now what happened when somebody tried to touch the leaves? All kinds of cytoplasmic fluids, include water and all, it start moving back in direction. So see, this pulvinus play very important role. Pulvinus has two parts, upper stable part and lower sensitive part. Pulvinus has two parts, upper stable and lower sensitive part. Upper stable we don't see any kind of changes, but this lower sensitive part plays a crucial role. What happened? As we try to touch and we try to give any kind of electrical shock to the leaves, all kinds of cytoplasmic fluids, including one chemical is there, one chemical called turgorine. One chemical is present inside that fluids, turgorine, along with movement of potassium ion. As soon as when we try to touch the leaves, the same time turgorine chemical along with the potassium ion starts moving backward in direction, and they moving to the pulvinule, and towards the pulvinule they are finally moving to the pulvinus part, and all the cytoplasmic fluids started moving in lower sensitive part of the pulvinus. So what happened? From the leaves, from the cells of the leaves, water is moving to the lower sensitive part. So we can say there is a dehydration of water from this leaves. Leaves become dehydrated, and because of that the leaves become droop swell. All the leaves become drooping, and when we try to leave our hands, if we try to withdraw our hands from these leaves, again the water, the cytoplasmic fluids started moving from the lower sensitive part of the pulvinus towards the pulvinule, and then finally again the cytoplasmic fluids moving to the leaves, and again leaves become flaccid. But this takes some time, because movement of water takes some time, so it may give some for a minute for the leaves coming to their former positions, right? So this is actually the mechanism that taking place inside the Mimosa pudica, that is touch me not. It's a very sensitive plant, that is why it's called chui mui. With touch, it looking like the plant is going to be wilt. I think this is clear to everybody. Now after this is the example of seismonastic movement, right? This is very important. Sometime it can be asked, what is Mimosa pudica? Write a short note on seismonastic movement, chui mui and all. So this is clear, I think. Now moving to the nervous system, children. In last video I had explained you about the structure of neuron, how the nerve impulses are moving through the cyton and axon. Today we'll see about nervous system. It's very important. See children, nervous system, it's a system of so many of neurons present inside the body. This nervous system is mainly of three types. The first is CNS. It stands for central nervous system. Central nervous system. Second is, it's called PNS. It's called peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. And third is autonomous, ANS. Autonomous nervous system. You can write here peripheral, PHERAL, peripheral nervous system. So there are three kinds of nervous system: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomous nervous system. The nervous system who's passing through the center of the body. So generally on the basis of position, the central nervous system further classified into two groups that we need to study about: brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. So now I am going to start with the brain, that is very important for board point of view. Clear? So let me start. This is the classification. Peripheral also having the classification that we'll see later, along with the autonomous nervous system we'll see later. First we are moving to the central nervous system, that is what? Brain. Now coming to, if we start about brain, it is the part of CNS. It is part of CNS, central nervous system. Now see, it is located inside cranium. Where it is located? Inside cranium. Cranium in the sense, this is skull. Skull inside means brain is protected by skull, cranium. In human body, if we see the standard weight of the brain is, it's 1400 gram, 1 kilogram and 400 gram. I'm talking about the standard weight of the, it can varies from 1200 gram to 1400 gram, but this is the standard parameter that I'm telling you. Study of brain is called encephalogy. Encephalogy means we try to see the structure, function, physiology of entire brain encephalogy. See, if I say this brain is very sensitive organ, so this entire brain is covered. Suppose if I say this is what the brain is there, so this brain is present inside the skull, and actually the brain is surrounded by 3 layers. You must see, this is very important. The brain is surrounded by 3 layers. It's called dura mater, pia mater, and third is arachnoid. So there are 3 layers protected this entire brain, and in between the layers some fluids are present. Cerebrospinal fluid. What is the name of these fluids? Cerebrospinal fluid, let's see, CSF, cerebrospinal fluid or cerebral spinal fluid. So what these entire layers protect the brain, and it protect the external jerk. The brain is totally safe from the external jerk, right? So this is what about the brain. Now see, if we further classify the brain has 3 main parts. So the diagram of brain is given, but you need to write down this name of the layers: dura mater, pia mater, and arachnoid. Now coming to, if we see the parts of brain, that is important. We'll see through the flow chart. Brain has 3 parts. It's called forebrain, then midbrain, and third is that hindbrain. The part of brain which is located at the front, this is what? Forebrain. The part of brain which is located at the center of the body, it's called midbrain, and the part of brain which is located at the hind part, posterior part, it's called hindbrain. This forebrain further classified into 3 groups. First is olfactory lobe, second is cerebrum, and third is diencephalon. Right? Forebrain has 3 parts: olfactory lobe, cerebrum, diencephalon. This diencephalon further classified into 2 parts: epithalamus and hypothalamus. Clear? Now see children, if I explain the role of the olfactory lobe, see, this is the part of forebrain which is responsible for gaining the message through the sensory nerve from olfactory receptor. Olfactory receptor means nose. So one of the 5 receptor nose. So whatever the things are sensitized by the olfactory lobe, like nose, so all kinds of information related smell, different kinds of smell when we are moving in our surroundings. So different kinds of smells are sensitized by the different stimulus by this olfactory lobe, olfactory, that we say nose. That all kinds of information is received by the olfactory lobe of the brain, and it is responsible to give message as per the smell. If very foul smell, then we try to close our nose, we try to run away from there. If we smell in like fragrance, we try to stay for some moment. So all kinds of decisions of which kind of smell is good and bad is decided by olfactory lobe. So what Olfactory lobe is responsible to give different kinds of sensation of different smell. I think this is clear. Now if I talk about cerebrum, see, cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. That is very important. This cerebrum is largest part of the brain. Almost 80% of the total brain is occupied by cerebrum. Think about 80% of the total brain is occupied by cerebrum, and this cerebrum is responsible for all kinds of skill. This is very important. Learning, the writing, thinking, writing, even to give speech, memorizing the things, making decisions, right? What do you think as skillful if you go it as an academic point of view? When you try to learn, we try to write, we try to read, we try to grasp the things, all kinds of skillful attitude will managed by cerebrum, right? So whatever the academic skills are controlled by cerebrum, and this is largest part of the brain. Then after diencephalon, after cerebrum we find the diencephalon part. This diencephalon is responsible for its two types, epithalamus and hypothalamus. See, epithalamus and hypothalamus, we see the major role of hypothalamus, but epithalamus also plays a crucial role. For example, I'm talking about hypothalamus is responsible for different kinds of controlling the emotions, like when we got angry with somebody. So anger, hunger, bhuk lagna, then anger, hunger, then thirst, making thirst, then body temperature, the body is hot or very cold, body temperature, I'm talking about fever, then love, then affection, then hate, then jealous. What? They are the different kinds of emotions. So all kinds of emotions are controlled by this diencephalon along with the body temperature. This is what hypothalamus. But you can ask me, then what is the role of epithalamus? It's also playing the role. For example, sometime we will start, can we do this kind of work or not? Is it okay or not? When we find some kinds of confusions, so that kind of confusion is also created by epithalamus, but most of the part is controlled by hypothalamus. So hypothalamus is responsible for controlling, responding all kinds of emotions, hate, examples that already given you. You must go through this, you may write down in your notebook, right? Now coming to children, midbrain. If I talk about midbrain, so it has only major part, so big in size. It's called corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina is the part of the midbrain and it's big in size, and it is responsible for the movement of eyeball. It is responsible to controlling the movement of eyeball. We might have seen the Kathakali, how they try to rotate our eyes inside the eye socket. So that kind of movement is controlled by corpora gemina. Somehow it is also responsible some auditory actions. It is also responsible to manage and controlling some auditory actions. So these kinds of functions is performed by midbrain. Clear? Now finally reaching to the, so there is no specified part of midbrain. Only we try to see about the corpora quadrigemina. That is very important. Now coming to the hindbrain, the part of brain which is located at the posterior part. Posterior part is called hindbrain. This hindbrain is also made is of two types. The first is pons virili. Then we talk about cerebellum. Second is cerebellum, and third is medulla oblongata. medulla oblongata. In short, it's called MO. So hindbrain is three parts: pons virilii, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. See children, pons virilii is part of the brain which is responsible to connect one body organ, one organ which is present inside the brain, to the other. It is a connector. Pons virilii is always responsible for connecting one organ of the brain to other. For how the cerebrum is connected with cerebellum, how cerebrum is connected with diencephalon. So these kinds of connection and connecting zone is performed by pons virilii. So try to fill up the gaps between the organs. Clear? Now cerebellum, this is called the chota bhai of the cerebrum. What? The younger brother of the cerebrum, because this is second largest part of the brain. Second largest. Who is the first largest? Cerebrum. This is second largest part of the brain, and see, this is responsible for the maintaining the equilibrium of the body. Equilibrium of the body means it try to maintain the samyavastha. It try to maintain the muscles tone up. It try to maintain, when we try to walk, when we try to run, it's making the body balanced way. What is the main function? This cerebellum is responsible for maintaining the body balanced way, means we say it try to maintain the equilibrium of the body through which we try to perform our work without any disturbance. Clear? Means you say this also responsible for control and coordinations. It coordinate the muscles functioning. Clear? So it maintain the equilibrium of the body. We say in body maintenance. Try to maintain the body, balance the body. Right? This is what cerebellum. Medulla oblongata is the last part of the brain. If I talk about this medulla oblongata, this is the last part of the brain, and it connects with spinal cord. You know, after this I'll teach you about the spinal cord. A spinal cord is connected with this MO, that is medulla oblongata, last part of the brain, and this is responsible for all kinds of controlling all kinds of involuntary actions. When if we see respiration, if we see vomiting, if we say sneezing, if we say other part, when our body is in rest condition, at the same time this medulla oblongata is responsible to control and coordinate what? All kinds of involuntary actions. So all kinds of involuntary actions are performed and regulated and controlled by this medulla oblongata. What they are? Maybe respiration, maybe vomiting, maybe sneezing, maybe digestive system, right? So all kinds of involuntary actions are performed by medulla oblongata. Clear? So this is all about the brain: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So children, this is important. Probably you can get some questions from this topic to your coming test. So next time we'll study the next video that would be based on spinal cord. Thank you so much.